interconnected ocean, a vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the story of the ocean with all its splendor and uncertainty than the killer whale, or as it's scientifically known, the Orcinus orca. The orca lives in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the mighty Pacific and beyond. This whale's story is the ocean's story, and it is one we all share.
Welcome to Seaworld's Orca Encounter. I'm Christina, and I'm so honored to introduce you to this intriguing and majestic animal. There's nothing like seeing a killer whale up close and learning about them and their natural behavior. We hope this orca encounter will help give you a better understanding of these magnificent creatures and all that they represent.
While they are found in every ocean, orcas living off the coast of Iceland are quite different than those near Costa Rica. In fact, there are at least 10 types, or ecotypes, of killer whales. An ecotype describes the differences between killer whale size, physical form, prey, social structure, and habitat. As you can see, the differences are subtle, but noticeable when compared side by side. Orcas are adapted perfectly to their environments. And even the whale's black and white coloration has a purpose. It camouflages the outline of their bodies in the water, making it easier for them to surprise and catch their prey. When viewed from above, the black of the whale blends in with the dark depths of the ocean. When viewed from below, the orca's white bellies match the brighter surface of the water, blending with the light above, giving them the perfect camouflage.
Show you some of their physical characteristics. Their blowhole is perfectly designed for getting a quick breath at the surface of the water. Even the location of their eyes works to their advantage. It looks like his eyes are in this white patch, but that's a visual distraction. His eyes are actually in the black area in front of the white patch, camouflaged from thrashing prey. The fin on top of the whale's back is called a dorsal fin, which helps stabilize the whales when they swim and helps regulate their body temperature. There's no bone inside of the dorsal fin, which is why sometimes you'll see a slight curve. The flippers on either side of the orca's body are called pectoral flippers and are mainly used for steering and stopping. There are 5 bony digits inside of the flippers, just like the human hand. The lobes on either side of the tail are called flukes, and the tail flukes are the killer whale's engine, propelling them close to 30 miles per hour, which is as fast as our speedboats. But they swim the fastest and use the most power when they're propelling their nearly 10,000-pound bodies up and out of the water.
whales are highly social animals with a well-defined social structure. An orca pod is always led by a female. Though just half the size of her male counterpart, she is in charge. It's all about attitude, not size. Because they live and work as a group, orcas need to communicate with sounds and body language. Orcas use clicks for echolocation or navigation. Whistles to socialize in the pod. And calls for group coordination and hunting. Vocal development studies here at Seaworld show that early on, calves learn vocalization from their mothers. But as they grow, they learn from others close to them as well. This is a bottlenose dolphin call that Shuka learned and even taught other killer whales here at Seaworld. In fact, orcas are the largest members of the dolphin family. Whales here and in the wild use vocalization to communicate all the time.
Like all animals, orcas use body language as part of their communication. They use pectoral slaps at the surface of the water to show dominance and to get noticed. For example, a mother may use a pec slap to get calf's attention. But when they really want to be heard, they reach. Spy hopping is how killer whales coordinate and get a better view of their surroundings when they hunt. Fluke slaps are also a form of communication the killer whale uses in the wild. Orcas are good communicators, so it's no wonder they're at the top of the ocean's food chain.
Killer whales work together to rear their young, protect their pod, and most importantly, pursue and catch their prey. Every day they cooperate to survive in the wild oceans of the world. The orca's hunting techniques are as varied as the whales themselves. Norwegian killer whales will circle herring, herding them together. The whales use sounds to coordinate with each other and to disorient the herring. With the fish confused and contained, the whales stun them with their powerful tail flukes, making for an easy meal.
hemisphere will capture sea lions by pulling them right off the beach. Watch as Orchid does the same movement and behavior right here at the slide out. Will actually create waves that wash over floating ice, knocking seals right into the water. Watch as our whales show you the same wave-making technique at the front of the pool, demonstrating one of many complex and impressive hunting abilities killer whales have developed around the world. You just saw these waves crashing in front of you, but you can't really imagine the amount of water displaced until you experience it firsthand. Luckily, we have a volunteer named Jordan who's going to come down and help us show the power of the killer whales. All right, Jordan, what you're going to do is sit right there on that blue bench, and you're going to hold on tight to that handlebar. Now, did you just see the video with the seal? Great. You're our seal.
I can't see that.
So you're going to just stay there and careful because these waves are strong and you don't want to get knocked off. So hold on tight. There's one wave and an even bigger wave. Wow, Jordan, she might be soaking wet. Thank you for helping us show off the power of the killer whale tail. You have been holding us. Let's give them a round of applause. Are found in every part of our ocean. It's no surprise they eat all types of prey, including other whales. Now, the blue whale on the screen behind me is the largest animal on Earth. It is 5 times longer and 50 times heavier than the killer whale. So, how does a killer whale this size eat a whale that size out in the wild? Well, it's possible because orcas are the ultimate team players.
In this example, we see the larger male orcas surround a sperm whale, forming a perimeter, while the females continue to drive the whale forward until it reaches exhaustion. The calves then move in to join the adults in the group. Whatever their prey, killer whales always cooperate and hunt together, making them a highly successful predator.
Of everyday life for killer whales. It's how they teach young whales to hunt and practice their skills as they grow. Orcas spend lots of time interacting and showing their playful side, both in the wild and here at SeaWorld. Porpoising is when a whale swims fast at the surface, breaking out of the water briefly. Ride in the wake of the boat, or when surfing in a wave. Orcas like to be touched and will rub their bellies on rocks when they can. Watch as our whales do this here, just like whales in British Columbia would. You'll also see whales imitate each other in the wild. We see it here at SeaWorld all the time. The whales are always mimicking and learning from each other. A tail whip is used in hunting to stun fish. But today, these whales might just be stunning all of you. Relationships and help provide optimal healthcare, research, and quality of life. The whales here take an active role in their health and well-being. For example, they'll show us their tail, which is helpful when we take a voluntary blood sample. They'll also slide out onto a scale so we can monitor their weight. You see Orchid doing this here in this video. They'll even let us take a breath sample from their blowhole because of the trusted relationships we have built here together day after day at SeaWorld. And right now, it is my honor to introduce you to one of our 10 incredible killer whales. This is Orchid. She is a 31-year-old female that is easily one of our most intelligent and playful animals. You'll often see her hanging out with her best friend, Nikki, who's on stage right now. Now, she is an incredible animal that has participated in countless research projects that are helping to conserve her wildlife habitats. Now, we encourage the whales every day to learn new things, to engage and stimulate their minds. Diet, exercise, and of course play all help keep these whales in great shape.
The whales here at SeaWorld have helped killer whales in the wild by participating in many research studies. One ongoing study monitors the whale's heart rate and breathing to understand how marine noise pollution from ship engines and other sources affect wild populations. In another study, scientists from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, took measurements of the killer whales living here, including pregnant whales. By comparing these measurements with drone footage of killer whales in the wild, scientists are able to monitor the wild population's nutritional and reproductive states. Other research has been done here at SeaWorld on the mother whale's milk composition. This research will help create an effective model to understand how toxins in the ocean impact wild killer whales and their milk supply. What we learn from the whales in our care every day is actively helping whales in the wild survive. And just by being here today, you've supported our rescue, research, and conservation efforts all around the world. If we work together, like the killer whale, we can protect the future of the Ocinus orca and this beautiful planet that we all share.
Hi guys, so we are back at the hotel It's been a very long day at Seaworld. I'm glad you could come along. It's been really good, hasn't it, actually? Really fun. As to say, we completed the pumpkin hunt, as you saw, which is brilliant. So we've got a nice special pin to keep for our collections. So yeah, it was really good. Really hot day.
Because it's actually our very first SeaWorld pin that we've brought.
Well, yeah, it's our very first one, yeah.
SeaWorld have a similar thing to Disney, how they do pin trading and sort of thing. But it's our very first thing.
Yeah, it's our very first pin. So if you come back, we might buy a starter set and try and pin trade in SeaWorld. I hope they're better than
Disney.
California Disney, where they had no pins.
I didn't see many
Staff
staff
room.
with
lanyards,
lanyards. We did see a few.
Yeah, there was a few. So it'd be interesting if you do come back and do that part, should we say?
Because I think they do it in Florida as well.
Yeah. But I showed you the outside of the restaurant we ate. The restaurant we ate in, which was the Smokehouse. Yeah, we're a bit disappointed, aren't we? Really. We were under the impression,
because it was on their website.
On the website, that they are great for allergen-friendly food.
It's what SeaWorld recommend on their website.
This turns out to be untrue. You go in, and there's 2 queues, which is really weird. So you can queue from both sides, and you just go around the queue and pick up what you want, starting with desserts. Now, we inquired if there was any gluten-free dessert, and your answer was?
No.
They had carrot cake, all other cakes. No.
What is actually annoying also is that the person we asked had absolutely no clue. So she says...
Yeah, she was very slow as well.
Yeah, she was like, shall I go and find someone to ask? I was like, yeah.
What annoyed me is that she went away and asked somebody and then came back and did exactly the same job as what she was doing without saying somebody will be right with you. She just carried on working. It's like, excuse me? We are still here. Thankfully, somebody did come out to us and say, unfortunately, none of the dessert items that were cakes and that were gluten-free. But what they did have to offer was fruit.
Well, she basically said all the meat was gluten-free.
Basically, they had, what are they called? Sampler plates. So you have the rib sampler plate was chicken, sausage, ribs, and a pickle. It also comes with fries. Now, the trouble is, none of their fries are gluten-free. Because we went to the checkout, and the checkout lady said that they can't do fries gluten-free because potatoes aren't gluten-free. And we're like, excuse me? Potatoes are naturally gluten-free. It's how you prepare them that adds the gluten to it. So whether they have a coating on the particular chips they use, who knows? If they cook it in the same sort of fat with gluten products, we don't know. But all they could offer was, for the chef who came out, all we could offer was fruit.
So instead of any sort of potato thing, I had to have fruit.
Which was a small part, a very small part, and you chose grapes, didn't you?
Yeah.
Of all the fruit you could have had. But I think that's disgusting.
Don't get a big pot.
No. Pot. They have 2 choices, normally, but we had to have the small part, which was not even enough to fill up the chips. So yeah, when we got to the checkout lady, she was like, oh, well, they could have probably have baked the chips if you asked them to. That wasn't one of our options. We were told it was fruit or nothing. So yeah, they're not very cleared up in that place. So if you do come to SeaWorld and try that place, be very careful.
And also the quality of the food was...
Yeah, for a steakhouse, for a smokehouse, sorry. It was basic. But the trouble is, even the cleanliness of the actual restaurant itself
Yeah, all the seating is like kind of like outside, but mostly it's undercover though. But and every table, you have to clear your table yourself. But every table
Was filthy.
yeah,
Even the trays, when you get your trays, they're all covered in water.
it was soaking wet.
So if you want to put your napkins down, they're just going to get soaked. Which is really stupid for a restaurant, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just
Because they expected you to use their napkins.
so disappointed with it, and I hardly ate any of it because the ribs. I got the rib platter, but the ribs they were like almost impossible to eat.
They were tough. The meat was not falling off the bone, as you would expect for a nice smokehouse where it's been lovely cooked. Nothing like that. I actually had the brisket, which to my own personal taste was fine. But other people might find it different.
Also included in it was sausage and chicken in mine.
Yeah, it's the same with mine came with chicken and sausage. The chicken, my particular part, was very bony, so please be careful with the bones. But they do state that because of the cooking method they use, some of the meat inside might be red. Apparently that's fine. It's just because of the way they've smoked it, it's just different. But they do say that it is fully cooked. But yeah, then we went and just looked around the park really.
We saw the Orca show, which is
So the Orca, yeah, it was amazing. Really great show actually. Such amazing creatures, aren't they really? So yeah, really glad we got to see that one because that was the last show of the day.
They only have 2 Orca shows this time of year.
So yeah, we got really lucky to see that one. And then we made our way back to the hotel really. At the hotel you just had a hot chocolate. Which we made sure was gluten free beforehand, and luckily it was. So yeah, the lady at the bar was very helpful and just got us what we wanted really. So let's come back to the hotel for a nice rest.
We'll say it is a very small bar.
Oh yeah, very small bar. They've got karaoke tonight, but that is a very small bar. It's like covered in mirrors to make it look bigger. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. But yeah, it is not a bad bar, I suppose. It's just really small. If you're a small family, great. But yeah, we're going to check out the hotel tomorrow. Let's do it. Might go swimming. We'll see. Might take a walk. Show you what it's like. But yeah, it's been a long day. It's not been too bad. Breakfast was good. Oh well, on my part, gluten-free is not so great, but...
For a gluten-free day, it has not been a very good day today.
No, plus you didn't get to see polar bears either, which was really disappointing actually, because that's one of the reasons we wanted to go to SeaWorld, because we knew there were going to be polar bears
At this SeaWorld.
at this SeaWorld, and they've sent the polar bear to another zoo. So, yeah, it's slightly disappointing, but these things happen, same as the pandas. We can't see the pandas when we want to. So that'd be another sad day. Oops.
But at least we're prepared for that one.
Well, yeah, we were prepared for them. So yeah, we're going to end this one here, and we'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, so what we get up to really. So, from us, the observers, for now. Bye.
Bye.